Imagine you're a teacher. Every day you stand in front of other people's children and try to shape them into something good. Patient, curious, kind. You believe, because you have to, that this work matters. That who a person becomes is not fixed. That it can be taught. Now imagine that behind one door in your own home, a different kind of education is taking place. Not one you're given, one you can't see. This is the story of a girl whose parents were both teachers, and of the 6 years, no one in that house could reach her. On the 2nd of August 2025, Mohammed Mahmoudi was standing outside the barber shop where he worked on East Street. He was 27. Originally from Iran, of Kurdish background, he fled persecution and built a life here as an asylum seeker. An 18-year-old woman named Alina Burns approached him from behind. She was carrying an axe she had bought for this purpose. She swung it at his neck once, then again as he turned toward her. Mahmoudi was much larger than the 5'2" Burns. He was able to wrestle the axe from her grip before she could strike again. A police officer nearby heard the struggle and arrested her at the scene. CCTV placed her in a fast food restaurant in the hours before. By all appearances, an ordinary young woman doing an ordinary thing on her way to attempt a murder. When police asked her why she'd done it, she told them plainly she wanted to cut his neck. She said she'd do it again, but to succeed. Alina Burns grew up in Bristol. Both of her parents were teachers, people whose working lives were built around the idea that children can be guided, corrected, brought up right. Her defense barrister would later tell the court she had a difficult childhood, a period of homelessness, moving between temporary accommodation. By 14, she had stopped attending school full-time. Her lawyers described what followed as, in his words, a spiraling descent into isolation, one that took place crucially while she was still living at home. Not a runaway, not visibly missing, just increasingly gone in a house where everyone could still see her at the dinner table. This is where the documentaries like this usually try to answer the question, how? How does a teenager go from stopping school to plotting to kill a stranger? The honest answer is slowly and largely online, in ways that are difficult for anyone outside the room to track in real time. Detectives who searched her home afterward found handwritten notes referencing extremist ideology, Nazi Germany, and the Second World War. She had searched online for material connected to Southport stabbings and to extremist conspiracy theories about Jewish supremacy. She had contacted a representative of the far-right group Patriotic Alternative on Telegram. We're not going to detail the specific materials she accessed related to weapons. That serves no one. What matters is a trajectory from a 14-year-old stopped going to school to a 19-year-old with a fully formed ideology and a plan. 5 months before the attack, she'd been talking to a man on a dating app. She told him she was the embodiment of hell. She told him she planned on bringing change to the UK through means she wouldn't detail. Later, she told him directly to kill Jewish and Muslim people in Britain. He reported her to the police. A stranger on the internet took her seriously enough to act. It's worth sitting with that. Not to assign blame to a system or to a family, but because it complicates the comfortable idea that radicalization is always invisible until it isn't. Someone saw it. Someone reported it. The attack happened anyway, months later. Burns pleaded guilty to attempted murder and to possession an axe, a scalpel, and 2 darts as weapons. She denied a separate charge of preparing terrorist acts. But the Crown argued, and the judge accepted, that the attack was still terrorism in motivation. Prosecution Serena Gates KC told the court that Burns wanted Jewish and Muslim people killed and non-white people expelled from Britain. The day before the attack, Gates said Burns had been watching footage of SS marches and had sent an email titled "The Dawn of Civil War." Passing sentence, Mrs. Justice Lambert told her she remained in judge's word, deeply entrenched in your abnormal belief system. The total sentence came to 19 and a half years, 15 and a half in custody, and a further 4 on extended license after release. She will be eligible to apply for parole after serving 2/3 of the custodial term. The judge noticed something else too, something that happened after Burns was already behind bars, awaiting sentence. In custody, she had continued to show hostility toward gay people, noting she had destroyed books in the prison library. Nothing about the months since her arrest suggested the belief system underneath the attack had loosened its grip. In his victim personal statement, Mohammed Mahmoudi said his life had completely changed. He said he struggled to move his neck, that his scar is a daily reminder, that his sleep is disrupted by the nightmares of being attacked from behind. He came to this country to escape persecution. He was attacked here on a street he worked on every day by someone who later told an assessor she chose him partly because she believed, wrongly and based on nothing, that the barbershop was involved in money laundering. There was no such scheme. There was only a man doing his job. It would be simpler if this were a story about bad parents or a failed school or an algorithm alone to blame. It isn't that simple. Burns' parents taught other people's children for a living. A stranger online recognized the danger in her and reported it. That didn't stop her either. What this story actually shows is narrower and maybe more useful, that radicalization doesn't require a visible collapse. It can happen behind a closed door in a house where nothing looks wrong, to a child who is still technically being raised. Mohammed Mahmoudi is alive. He carries this with him regardless. Alina Burns will spend most of the next decade and a half in prison. And by her own conduct there, she is given no sign yet of coming back from where she went. Somewhere in the gap between a family that taught for a living and a daughter no one reached in time is the actual harder question this film doesn't have a tidy answer to.